White Hi, good afternoon. Hope you can hear me. So it's 2 o'clock. We can start. I can start by a little introduction. We can quickly have a round of introduction if you all are okay, just to feel more like a group. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, so if you can just say hi to the group, share maybe one line which city you are from, your name, and maybe what you do. One line, quick, snappy introduction, and then we can start off. Yes, please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Trupti Hatangri. I am an Assistant Executive Director with the Trio World Schools. We have one ICSE and one IB school, and it's based in North Bangalore. Thank you.
Thank you. Others, would you just like to quickly, whoever would like to say hi to the group? You can come on video, you can just do it on audio, you can even do it on chat, that's absolutely fine. Whichever way you would like to say hi to the group.
Hi, I'm a parent. My name is Surabhi. Connecting to understand better on how what the children can choose. Thanks.
Sure. Welcome, Surabhi, welcome, Trupti. Others, Shakuntala, Gururaj, Madhuri.
Hi, I am Shakuntala, psychologist and psychotherapist and advocate also. Thank you.
You.
Hi, Ratnesh. Madhuri here again. Yeah. Hi. So I'm coming to the end of my master's in another few months. So I plan to take up counseling as my career. So anyways, I have been believing in your work for so many years. So I wanted to know, in what ways are you suggesting us to sort of reach that 40% of children who are, struggling to fit into the education? I wanted to understand what pathway are you suggesting. So that's why I'm here.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, others, Gururaj, Manisha, would you like to say hi? Okay, if you're in a space where you can't really use mic and video, that's absolutely fine. You can always type on chat. Okay, I think we can kind of start. So let me kind of introduce myself, and I'll also start the recording. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So hi, my name is Ratnesh, and me and my wife Aditi, we both together started working with children way back 1999. We started, and then 2008 is when we formed Aarohi Life Education. After having, I would not say worked with children, I would say learned from children, because we had no idea what to do with children, how to do with children. So we said, okay, we'll learn from children. If we have to work with them, then let's learn from them. They are let them guide us what they are looking for. So that's how our journey started, without having any idea about what is education, what is learning, what is what. We started being with children and learning from them. And yeah, so that led to a very simple, you can say, realization, but it was for us, it was earth shaking. But the realization itself was very simple, that each child is capable of pretty much figuring out how, when, where, what to learn. As simple as that. And they are not just capable, they're extremely excited, motivated, energized to learn whatever they want to learn. So that was our, you can say, big learning in the first few years of being with children. And that led us to think about, hey, then why are we so keen on teaching? Initially we were also designing activities and designing structures and frameworks and whatever you call it. But then we realized, no, why are we doing it? Why can't we first allow children to create all of these, create their own structures, create their own frameworks, create their own curriculum, create their own learning, create their own teachers. They can find out whom they want to learn from, right? And so on. So that is how our initial journey was. And well, the interesting part is, at least we haven't found a child who come and said, no, I don't want to do what I want to do. You tell me what to do. Maybe initially, maybe when they don't know us, first thing they will come and ask what to do. But once they realize that, oh, they are the one who are the drivers, then it goes totally in that direction. So that's how our journey began. And yeah, I would also like to share, I have two of my own children. My daughter is now 26, married, and so on. But the interesting thing is she has not really gone to much of school. She has no 10th or 12th. She has no certificate, no degree, nothing. And she is obviously a professional, as well as, yeah, enjoying life, doing multiple things that she likes doing, including earning out of all of those, I would say. And my son is 20. He has also never been to school, no 10th, no 12th, no college. They've all been part of Aarohi, and he's also a professional now in his chosen field. And yeah, he has his own, let's call it, agency. He's into marketing and all that, right? So that's a brief about my children. But obviously, I've worked with lots and lots of children and lots of parents, and that is what I want to share. But before I share about what we want to share about education at Aarohi, that's primarily what I would be sharing, more as an example of what we can do, and then we can discuss how we can take it to more people. But before that, I just want to quickly touch upon this whole part about what is happening right now. Now, according to us, some children are enjoying this conventional education. They are thriving. They're scoring great marks. They are going to, great colleges and so on and so forth, building careers and all of that is great, right? But some children just do not fit in, just do not enjoy this. They struggle all the while. Yeah, the question is, what about them? What about them? So, what we have seen in our little exposure of whatever last 26 years about is that the ones who are not really successful in school, college exams, the conventional setup, they're unfortunately go through many things. And I just want to quickly enlist, I'm sure many of you would know this, agree with me, hopefully, and would have experienced this in many different forms, not necessarily with your child, with other children. The first one, obvious one, is that they go through a lot of societal and parental pressure. because everybody is expected to excel in school and college and exams. So that's very unfortunate, because we all know that marks doesn't tell worth of anybody. Yeah. Which is why we started thinking, hey, why do we need to push children? Why can't we let the child pull us in the direction he or she wants to go? Where are his or her energies? And let's move in that way, rather than we trying to say, okay, you have to do more of this and more of that. Yeah. The second thing is they invariably go through a lot of shaming and what is commonly called as low self-esteem, and a lot of mental health kind of things, depressions and stuff like that. And especially with exams, oh my goodness, that gives jitters to a whole lot of them, especially the ones who know they're anyway not going to do great in it, right? So I'm not talking about that kind of a performance stress. That's for the ones who want to become the toppers, but the ones who are anyway not going to do great, they have their own whatever. And there is no need for us to create more mental health issues and then try and solve them. Right. I think that's the cycle we are stuck in, because we are creating, first of all, a system which is making them mental ill. Apart from other reasons, I'm not trying to say this is the only reason, but definitely this is one of the big reasons. So we say, hey, life is good enough an exam. Let's let them invite to life rather than to something which they are not very much enjoying. The third point is that there's a lot of loads of harsh treatments by parents, by peers, by even teachers sometimes, by the system itself, by the fact that somebody else's photo is out there showing he is the topper and their photo is nowhere. So what we are suggesting here, why don't we lift this weight from them that, hey, you don't need to do all of this if you don't feel like, so that they can fly. As simple as that. We have a saying, if you ask a bird how to fly, the bird will say, remove the weight from your wings, then you can fly, right? So that's the way we like to look at it. The fourth issue is that their own talents and interests are often ignored and even brushed aside as useless, not important professions, not important for success, and so on. And for example, if there is a child who we had a child called Yashas, he would all the time be outside his house, all the time playing with his friends, right up to early teen years. And the parents were obviously like, what are you up? You don't do anything. You just go around, loaf around with your friends. But I think that's a strength, because he's amazing with people, the way he connects with everybody. And okay, now he's moved ahead. He's gone into football. He's an amazing team player, how he builds his own energies with the team, and how that has become a factor for success of his team. So he's gone into professional football. So just giving you an example of what can happen when we start looking at what is inside the child. And finally, they start suffering from this whole concept that, oh, okay, you won't get a good job. Parents start worrying. A lot of parents are worrying about the child not being able to get a good career, not able to get a good job. But what we have seen is that if you combine their passion, whatever they are passionate about, with the skills, obviously you need to get the skills, and you combine these two, and then you can just build your own future. So that's something that we feel that the children, the 40% children, as we talk about, I don't know if that 40% is 40% more or less. It's just a hypothetical figure, just to show that it's a big enough chunk for us to think about and question. So what we are saying is, hey, whose side are we on? As a parent, as a teacher, as an educator, as a counselor, I hope we are on the child's side. But a lot of time, the education system is so glorified in its beauty. If somebody is doing great in maths, or somebody's getting a great rank and all that, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but then there's so much of glory around this that the one who is in the below half, if you look at my screen, it's like down there, starts wondering, what am I? Where am I? How am I? And it's time we needed to really cite the child, irrespective of where the child is. To me, every child is a topper. Every child is gifted. Every child is special. Every child is amazing. And if we start looking at every child like that, that we need to look at it that way. So what we have been doing for 16 years, and which is what I want to share with all of you as the primary objective of this webinar, um, is that, hey, the education can be designed which will fit the child, an individual child, not like all the children, which is fine. As I said, the ones who are thriving in that. But what about the ones who are not? Well, we can actually design an education that will fit the child so that the child can thrive. As simple as that. Yeah. Let me quickly show you one small clip of a parent, how she was looking at children, just to kind of make it that this is, I think, very typical. We as parents get lost, and then what happened with her son. It's a very small video. Just watch.
So she's in the area of counseling. So I asked her, what do I do with this child? He doesn't want to get into math, science, or not even commerce, or even literature. If I want him, he doesn't want to go to college. What do I do? She said, what are his strengths? I said, he can't do math properly. He can't speak the language the way I speak because again, it requires learning, and he doesn't want to learn. He doesn't want me to help him. But what are the other things? Those are not strengths. Those are functional skills to live in a world. But what are his core strengths? What are his natural strengths? I had no answer. Then she told me, go back and again observe your son. See what are his core strengths. That's when I actually observed my son with taking the lens of judgment, because all through these years I was judging him. I was judging him with the lens that the society gave me. So this is how he should be. This is how he should have been at this age. This is how he should have been at this age. And these are the things he should have learned. But what are his natural strengths? I didn't know that.
What if you don't have to go to college to learn something or get a degree? Then you can go to real industry and do work with them. Like how I'm learning by working in car industry with automobile technicians and experts.
So
Right. So it is so very common, and I think the beauty here is a counselor gave that insight to the mother to look into the child's strengths, which she had not noticed for 17 long years, or 17, 18 years. So Hari came to us when he was 19, actually, and in actually 2 years he is completely turned around. He found his passion in automobiles. He's now in automobile industry. He has only given 10th. He didn't do any. Somehow managed 10th. So he didn't do anything after 10th. So he has gone into automobile industry. And interestingly, he's now thriving in the automobile industry without any degrees, without anything. His passion for automobile is something which got him there. First, he got one apprenticeship, then another apprenticeship. And in each of the apprenticeship, they wanted to keep him. But he said, no, I want to explore more. And now he's more with an organization that works with vintage cars, because he likes to tinker and do things with those cars and so on. So he's thoroughly enjoying himself. So the idea is that, and Hari puts it very beautifully, why go to college and school when I can go to the industry? Because that's where his heart was, the automobile. So that's I think something we need to all think about. Why are we so stuck with this? The world itself is such a beautiful place where we can learn, we can develop our skills, where we can grow, where we can be valued. Actually, that's the beauty of it. The world will start valuing when we start giving value to the world, in that way. So I want to quickly run through 7 beliefs that we have. Let me see how many you would agree to. The first one we say is that the responsibility of the child is in the child's hand, not in our hands, not in parents' hands. Let's let the child know that, hey, this life is your responsibility. And the moment they start realizing this is my responsibility, they take it very, very seriously. In most cases, when people think, oh, you don't have no exams, no subjects, no curriculum, no classroom, no teaching, then the child is totally free, then the child will waste his time. But exactly the opposite happens, because we're not telling them you are getting freedom here. We are saying you're getting responsibility here. You are responsible for your day. or week or month, and especially day, because that's the only day you're going to live. And when they start thinking about that, then they start thinking about, what do I want to do with myself? And once they start doing that, we say they've started taking themselves seriously. And they start thinking that it may take little time, 3-6 months, but once they start taking themselves seriously, then there is no stopping them. So that's the first and the most important point, is that children are responsible for themselves. And let's start. And as much as a toddler is responsible for learning his mother tongue, so they learn without being taught. So it's not like that they are not responsible. They're responsible from birth. They know that. It's just that we somewhere have taken away that responsibility. The second thing is this whole idea of failing, playing, experimenting, exploring as much as they want, when they want to do that. That invitation that you have the creative power to create yourself. Forget creativity in art and all of that. I'm saying the biggest creation we do is we create ourselves, our own life, our own thinking, our own wisdom, our everything, our own feelings, our own relationships. We are creating all of this. By definition, we are creative. Now let's unleash that power. Let us invite them to use it. So there's a lot of exploring, and we'll talk about exploring in just a little while more. And yes, a lot of failures. So we say that children are prone to as much of success and as much of failures. And if we look at that as 50-50, then they are completely capable of everything. As much as we as adults are capable of all errors, omissions, failures, and setbacks in our lives. So that's the idea that they start getting. They start enjoying their own failures. And the moment they start enjoying their own failures, then they start taking their failures more seriously, and then they start working on them. The next one is acceptance. I mean, I know you all know this, but it is so much more important, because the moment the child is little something, we start bouncing on the child. Hey, why are you not doing this? You said you will do this, but no. We have to step back and give them the space to realize their own self. And that is important. Once they start getting it, as I said, then there is no stopping them. Also, they are learning, and rather we all are learning everything in our life, whether it is to be disciplined, or let's say networking, or grabbing opportunities. All of these, the so-called soft skills, hard skills, all the thing is an ongoing, lifelong process. Nobody's 100% perseverant. Nobody's 100% disciplined. So if we don't approach them with that, but we are with the approach that they're learning, and then we are with them. Then they feel, oh, they are not trying to impose some ideas onto us of an ideal child or an ideal person. Rather, how we are is fine, and we are constantly working on ourselves. So we are always work in progress. Yeah, this one you will all agree that the moment there are a lot of children, not just of same age, but different ages, children working with lots of different people, adults, grandparents, when it's like a community. So we say one is a school model, which is typically, class-wise, or even if it's not class-wise, even it's vertically integrated, there are a whole lot of children with few teachers. But what if there's a whole community of parents, teachers, grandparents, other people, whoever people, and then children of all ages, and then we collectively learn. So that's the community or togetherness that we have worked on. And yeah, it's amazing. It keeps us energized and keeps the children also super energized. And finally, the most beautiful thing which I keep telling every single child is, hey, you are the center of the universe. The whole world is yours. Go ahead, ask, and you will get it. Try. When you need help, when you need a mentor, when you need a guidance, go ahead and ask. You don't have to have in-house teachers to tell you what you need. If you need something today, the world is at your fingertips. You could be learning from somebody sitting in Australia. Recently, we have a child called Rohit. He's about 13, I think now. And he likes creating digital music. So he's part of some of these servers where they post their digital music, and suddenly you get some 15 feedbacks. Hey, your bass is too low. Your intro is not putting it correctly. Hey, there you do this, there you do. Fully technical feedback he gets within what few hours of his posting his piece of music. And that too from a big audience which he does not even know where are they from. So that is the That is the global education we are talking about, or open source education that we are talking about. Yeah, whether you go to a person down the road or in a corporate, the beauty is people are ready to help children. I do want to share this one thing. In our 16, actually, okay, let me say 16 years, 17 years of working with children, whenever any child has approached an adult for support, when a person knows, okay, this person is good at, let's say, coding, so let me call him and take some help, or this person is good at designing, so let me call him and her and take help. So like this, whenever they have asked any professional for help, guess what is the success rate? Okay. And if you're guessing like me, then you first guessed it right. It's 100%. Till now, not even one adult has said to any of our children, no, I will not help you. They may say, I'm a little busy now, come back to me after 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever. But not even a single professional has said to a child that, no, I will not help you. And these are unknown people. We are not going through references. We are doing cold calling, complete emails or WhatsApping or whatever. So that's the beauty of people, right? All are there to help children. So that's the kind of support they get when they start asking for it. So these are some of our beliefs which we work with when we work with children. What we do, let me cover this also quickly. We basically are trying to look at their passions, their strengths, their capabilities, their talents, and so on and so forth. And our job then become to help them discover it, help them develop it, and to nurture it by whatever coaching, facilitating, guiding we can do. Yeah. One small thing, just to give it a kind of a flow, is that when children are younger, they are looking for exposure. So we say the younger children are hungry for exposure. Not that the exposure stops later on, but that's like kind of the linearity of it to some extent. As they grow a little older, 7, 8, 9, they start getting into exploration. They start thinking, I want to do this, but not that. I'm into football and not crochet, or I'm into crochet and not football. They start choosing their interest. And then as they grow a little more older, as in teenage years, when they are 14, 15, 16, 17, then they start thinking of, out of these interests, which ones do I want to go deep into? Which one I want to drill deep into? And we call it deep diving. And that's when they develop real expertise, especially by working with industry into the enterprise stage. Yeah. Here I think loaded. Yeah. So why I want to show this video is showing how this child has gone through all these stages. Yeah. Of the 4 stages. I hope. Okay, Madhuri is pointing out lost for a few seconds. So I was talking about this 4 stages. So let's just hear this person out, this boy out quickly, and I'll tell you more about him later.
How did I become a professional without ever going to school? At Aarohi, I've always been doing something. Whether it was a skill worth learning or, well, this stuff. I've been a part of Aarohi my whole life, and I've gone through the 4 stages of learning, but I like to call them the quad E's. The first stage is exposure, where I was being introduced to new concepts like gardening, cooking, music, building stuff. A lot of stuff. Then I moved on to the second stage, exploring, experimenting, and gaining hands-on experience. Here I did things like photography, art, fitness, adventure sports, and, well, normal sports. After this, I leveled up to stage 3, which is expertise, where I try to master my skills and dive deeper into different things. I played football for 4 years at different academies, trying to become professional. I started working out and taking fitness more seriously. And digital marketing, where I started off with trying paid ads, web designing, slowly transitioning to social media and media production, which is what I'm doing right now, by the way. I even got my first internship for social media management, which was not paid. The final stage is enterprise, where I start earning while learning. In this stage, I got my second internship in a social media role, where I learned a lot about social media and how the content production world works. Finished that and then started a content agency with my friend. And I'm also doing a part-time job with a podcasting agency right now where I'm learning more about different types of content. Usually I do short form content and podcasting is something totally different. So these are the 4 stages of learning that I've been through with Aarohi. And well, the learning never stops, but yeah, this is what you get if you join Aarohi. Bye. How did I become a professional without it?
Okay, so I just want to touch upon a couple of points that he made. One point was about this whole lot of exploration that he does. And I think that part is so energizing to the child that I can actually explore what I want to explore. If I want to explore making things like he was talking about making things. So for example, he made lots of rafts and boats actually with his hands and actually took it to ponds to float them, and many of them capsized. And when that kind of energy goes into doing, then now note the second thing, he never talked about learning maths or English or physics or science, but he learned all of that. He learned all of that because he was using all of that. Yeah. In fact, we often tease him because he had never gone to school. We often tease him. You don't even know ABCD in that order because he never learned that. Nobody gave him to learn ABCD in that order because that's not important. So that is what happens when they learn by exploring what they like exploring. So that's where their energy gets fully channelized. I just want to one more small video of how children especially in the teenage years are so lost. And like in this case, we have Aparna here who will tell you, and how again through exploring is that they start finding themselves. Otherwise, it's very, very common among teen years. When I talk to teenagers, they say, I don't know what to do, or I don't know what I'm good at. Yeah. Let's just watch a quick 1-minute video.
In the beginning, I was totally confused and didn't know what I wanted to do more. I used to just sit simply. Then I somehow got the fear inside myself. Okay, what will my future be? What will happen after this? I had a lot of confusion. Did I take the right decision and all this? That's when I started exploring a lot of different fields like art, music, carpentry, electronics. After joining City, first I chose the electronics and art as my domain. But I somehow, with electronics, didn't feel I didn't enjoy that journey much. I still like arts, but I somehow feel it's not my passion. It's like my hobby, which I like to do in my free time and leisure time. That's when I started thinking, which made me really happy from the past. Which domain did I really like doing and exploring from the past days, which I've explored. That's when I thought I liked mud construction.
Right. So here is Aparna. So now she's into mud construction. She discovered it with so many iteration that this is something she likes doing, making building with her own hands and using the mud. And now she has done multiple projects with different people. So she's learning through different internships and different projects essentially of making houses and buildings using earth construction or mud construction. So again, the point that I want to emphasize is the importance of exploring and giving them the time to discover what is it that they would really like to go deep into. Now that time is something we need to hold on, right? Hold on to with our beliefs in them. That is what makes the big difference. Yeah. Okay. So what we actually do is, if you break it down, we do sustain one-to-one mentoring to each child. They do a lot of group works and a lot of group projects, which they make their own groups of different ages. We also bring in a lot of processes. I will give you a couple of examples, but the whole thing is based around the child, right? So let me give 1 or 2 examples and tell you this in little detail. But the first starting point is always a personalized learning plan, which is what this particular child likes and how we can plan something around what all this particular child is liking at this moment. Obviously, what they like will keep on changing as they go along. Yeah. So, for example, Here is Mishti, who at 9 declared that I like writing. So we said to her a simple thing. Okay, we'll form a small group of whoever likes writing, and we will just write every day. We'll give a prompt. Somebody will post a prompt. Even you can post a prompt, and you write every day. And no word limit. Nobody will check. Nobody will give a thumbs up, thumbs down. Nothing. No evaluation. No analysis. We'll just write every day. And she has. That was when she was 9, and now she's 13, and she has been writing every day. And so much so, now she has published a book. The book is in her hand, which is a 365 days compilation of 365 writings that she wrote in 2004. Sorry, 2024. So in 2025, she has published this book of the 365 writings. So that's the kind of, and as I said, development that the child can perceive when they get something which is personal to their liking. Yeah. So in a way, that's our main role, apart from making the plan, is now to start attaching resources, various projects, various explorations, so that it matches with whatever the child is liking. Again, giving an example of Mehuli, she again did not know what she wants to do. So we asked her, okay, what would you like to do? And she said, I want to do art. But it was not like she was a painter or anything. She just said, I want to do an art. So we started with floor arts and wall art and, gross kind of an art where she could literally paint anything on anywhere. And slowly, now she's developing, solid skills of visualizing things on a totally different scales. So that's the role we continuously playing, a kind of a matchmaker role. But apart from creating these matchmaking, we also bring in a whole lot of what we call as real world experience. We travel a lot, we go to a lot of different places, we meet a lot of different people, we do a lot of different things. Let me give you one example. For example, every year's Aarohi is a charitable trust. So obviously we have accounts. Every year, Aarohi's accounts is done by one child. And the child could be as young as, in this case, Advay was around 11 years when he did accounts. So in one full year, he did the accounting. Next year, another child will do the accounting of Aarohi. Next year, another child will do. And these are all 10, 11. We have even had a 9-year-old who did accounting. Now, can a 9-year-old learn what a BCom, MCom is supposed to learn? The answer is yes. They do it right till the balance sheet, profit and loss, submitting it to CA, answering their queries. So that's and again, not that they have to get into becoming an accountant. That's not the idea. The idea is that you realize, the accounting is just one thing we all need to do if you want to do it, if you need to do it, let's say if it's our business or something. So that's the kind of joy they seek when they know this is real. This is not some fictional entries. This is real Aarohi's bank statements and debits and credits that they are handling. Yeah. Also, we put a lot of importance on feelings, on self-development, on social development, on leadership skills, on a whole lot of self. So a lot of work goes into self, lots of processes, lots of ideas. We have kind of scanned all kinds of processes being done all across the world. And thankfully, with the internet, everything is available, books are available. And we copy paste different processes. Just to give you a very small process, we have something called as a hurre, nore, sore, which we do on a daily basis. And in the evening when we sit together, I can have a hurre for anybody that, let's say, oh, such and such person did this and I really liked it for such and such reason. Or I can have a nore for somebody. Why did that person do that? And so, or I can have a sorry for somebody that I did something and I'm sorry for that. And the theme keeps changing. Like just day before yesterday, the theme was touch. Okay, was there anybody's touch which was hooray for you? Maybe somebody hugged you, maybe somebody did that, or somebody touched you in a way where you felt, your privacy you felt uncomfortable, your privacy was, or you did a touch to somebody, maybe you hate somebody, pushed them. So just on that theme, we had so just a very small process. But if you do that on a daily basis, everybody learns how I can express, how I can share, how I can connect with what others are feeling. So it's not just about me, it's also about empathy that I would develop for others because others are also sharing. So just a small process, just giving you one example. Finally, as I was saying, we have the option of children, whether after doing few years with Aarohi, this kind of education, once they kind of discover themselves, they can either go back to giving examinations, go to 10, 12, college, if they want to, or if they don't want to, then they can do the professional journey themselves without going to a college. So one example is Srijini. She's a baker. She can bake whole day, whole night, right? And obviously, we are all very happy that she's into baking because we get to eat lots of stuff. But more importantly, now after doing a lot of baking, she's moving on to becoming a business baker rather than just the baking part of it. Now the business part of it, and now she's meeting different people who have converted their passion of baking into sorry, excuse me, into a business of baking. So now she's getting into becoming a business person and getting again into internships and meeting people and understanding how different businesses in baking works. So that's her journey. She's obviously not going to a college, and she's 18 right now and pursuing this on her own, obviously with the support of everyone. Right. Lastly, in our kind of working, the parents are very important. They are totally integrated, involved, interested with what is going on a day-to-day basis. So we work very closely with the parents. Parents work very closely with us, both working together to help the child. So the whole thing is very flexible for the parents, but very, very beneficial for the parents. In fact, a lot of, if you hear the case studies on our website, they would talk about, oh, more than the child I learned, right? That's parents talking about, because they learn so many things uh, in terms of working with their child. Right. So that's broadly what we have been doing, not just for 1 or 2 years, now for 17 years. We started in 2008, and it's been an amazing journey for us, obviously, and for a lot of children whom we have worked with. And now, as I want to say, now we are more and more wanting. So initially we started off whoever wanted this kind of education, but now we are realizing a whole lot of children need this kind of education, and we need to somehow reach out to the parents and say, hey, hello, there are options like this. And while we offer this at our campus, which is near Bangalore, it's about 2 hours, but it's in rural Bangalore, 2 hours from Bangalore, but in Tamil Nadu. So we offer one option of joining Aarohi, where the child is at our campus regularly. It's a residential campus, and we live like a community, and the family can keep coming to the campus whenever they want. But also, the whole idea is that, okay, if you want to do this at your home, we can even support you to do that. If you as a parent need that support to make that difference in your child's life, we can support the parent. Not, we won't support the child online, but that somehow does not work. We don't like this online kind of education. We would rather empower or help support the child, a parent, and then the parent works with the child if they do not want to come to Aarohi for whatever reason. And obviously, we are somewhere hoping that more spaces like Aarohi would mushroom, and that is why we are talking to a lot of people. But to start with, yes, if there is a child who would like to come to Aarohi, that option is always available. And what we also offer is a week's visit where you come and stay with us. This option is also open to all of you. If you would like to come and just stay with us for a week and experience how we live, how we do all of what I've been talking about, right? So that is something we like doing, because the people who come even for a week are beautiful people. They are resource people for us. They're learners for us. And all I can say is we'll all enjoy if you come over. So that's an open invitation to all of you if you would like to come and stay with us for a week. Right. So yeah, I think I have covered whatever I wanted to share more from our journey. And yeah, maybe also apart from answering your question, we can also let's say brainstorm how we can reach more and more children and make this difference for them. Yeah. So let me stop sharing. Right. And after talking for so long, invite you to ask questions, share your thoughts. You're most welcome.
I think, Mr. Ratnesh, you were way ahead of your time. People are now, this is a concept that's now slowly but surely being accepted. A lot has been spoken about it, and parents are looking for alternatives. In fact, just this morning, I was talking to, he's a CEO of an organization, and he was saying that this mainstream schooling, I'm falling out of the charm, and I'm looking for an environment. And I said, it's so uncanny that you speak to me today when I'm going to be attending this. Yes, people are. There are a lot of, what would you say, preconceived notions about maybe a residential school or an alternative idea of education. And I think talking more and more about it or reaching out to more people is going to be the way ahead, because that really is the need of the hour, because there's so much opportunity, like what you have already experienced. Children, they just need to know what they want to do, and then they do it.
Absolutely.
It's just the ability to discover that and the freedom to discover that, because 80% of the children we have here are parents' aspirations,
right,
and parental ambitions. And the poor child is never asked. He's never even, forget asking him what you want. He's not even asked how he feels about what he's doing.
Yes, absolutely. You've hit it hard on the nail.
Yeah, because, I was talking to my nurse. We have an infirmary and the nurse. And I was asking her how things were. And I said, if you were to divide the number of children, the footfalls in our infirmary, she said, man, 90% of them come only for reassurance and little love.
Yeah.
They don't have any malady. They have no medical condition. They only come there for some love, reassurance, some kind words. Just the comfort of knowing that there is an adult who's going to give me undivided attention. And isn't that a sorry state of affairs?
Absolutely.
We are an elite school. You know what I mean? That's the apathy today, and that's the reality. It's just so sad. But thank you. I mean, it's reassuring to know that there are success stories when you make a choice like this. And that's important for parents to know, So, and congratulations to you, because you've kept on your, I met you, I think the first time I met you was your workshop in Indiranagar, when you conducted
that must be a long
on a
time
balcony,
back.
way back then. And, your journey, you've never given up, you and Aditi, your wife. I think you're so dedicated. Heartiest congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, Manisha is asking, yes, Manisha, for us, there is nothing. We don't differentiate between special needs, non-special needs, or whatever. For us, we like to put it this way, that all children are special. Right? And how we work with them will depend on where are they, at what point are they, what are they liking to do, how they are liking to do, and what are their capabilities. And however their capabilities are is beautiful. Everybody doesn't need to be same capable, right? It will be so boring if this world was full of same capability people. Then anyway, that's what robots are, right? So for us, absolutely. Obviously, the parents should be okay with being part of it. They need to get involved any which way. We are not a sent to Aarohi kind of an community, you can call it. We require parents to be involved in whichever form they are able to be involved. Yeah. So I would suggest, if you know any parent who has a so-called special needs child and are looking for some space, please ask them to connect with us. They can come stay here for a week. See if this is what they resonate with, because that's important. Yeah. Please. Okay, it's near Hosur. I will share the website. I think that is much easier. You will get all the information there, and a lot of other questions that the parents would have. So. But yes, it's near Hosur, near Bangalore, near Hosur, near a town called Kelamangalam. That is the location. Yeah. Yeah. More thoughts, questions. Madhuri, you want to share anything?
Yeah. I was thinking just about this, Ratnesh. How do we empower guidance counselors and how do we help them take this forward? So I was thinking along those lines because I do know, as I'm part of the parent community groups, I've seen how you empower. I mean, I'm a parent myself, so I do get empowered through those discussions. I've spoken about my fears. So, from a space of being an aspiring counselor, I'm thinking, would it be like a program where counselors first sort of understand? I mean, each of our journey is different, right? I think my journey was different, so the way I would bridge and adapt to what Aarohi is doing for the teens and about teens would be different from counselors coming from different journeys and different backgrounds. So I was just contemplating on that. Maybe if there are counselors here, I would really invite some challenges or gaps that they are seeing in terms of how they think they can adapt or not adapt, or what would be the struggles. One way, I will stop there.
Yeah, anybody would like to add to that? That would be really nice. Whether you're a counselor or whether you're a parent coach or a teacher coach or a trainer or an educator, yeah, and that's absolutely fine, because we all are finally, I think these are just different names. We are all finally working with the child. So that's the common denominator. Yeah. So all the details, Artisha, yeah. Hi, Arti. So, sorry, I was trying to decipher your name. So, Arti, all the details are there on the website, including cost, expenses, and how the whole thing works. So, any parent can look it up. It's all transparent. It's all out in the open. There is no anything. We are a charitable trust, so we don't make any profit. So, it's all contribution basis. And if you know of anybody from a lower income status, then we would even figure out how to get sponsorship. But that's typically for children coming from an income bracket which will not be able to contribute at all, or contribute only a small amount. We have had people from surrounding villages, because we are local village, who have been part of Aarohi, and we have worked with them. Mamta is asking, does this program work alongside? No, Mamta, this does not work alongside with regular school system. But what has happened, and if you go to the website, there are videos and case studies that children have spent 1, 2, 3, 4 years, depending on how much they wanted to, and they got benefited, and then they went back to the conventional school system at that age. So suppose I came out at 6th standard and I spent 3 years, then I go back at 9th standard. Or directly give 10 through NIOS or whatever other boards or state boards which allow private candidates and so on. So that option, a lot of children have taken, going to 10th and 12th through NIOS or, as I said, private board or IGCSE and stuff like that. So, but no, not alongside, because here they need to be here and just be with their energies. Oh. I need to unmute you. Just one. Sure. Yeah, actually, I have not muted anybody, so it's not allowing me to unmute you. Yeah, I think now you can speak. Yeah, go ahead, Mamta. Please speak.
Can you hear?
Yeah, it's a little breaking, but I can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. This is Mamta. So the
voice is little breaking. You've again gone on mute, Mamta. Maybe skip the video, because that may just take more bandwidth.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm actually muted.
But we can hear you.
About your program. You can. Okay. So hi, this is Mamta here. And it was quite enlightening to know about the different programs that you have. And honestly, when the when the whole presentation started, I was wondering because yes, I feel that passion is quite often an overrated word because we keep telling children that do something that you're passionate about, but actually they need to know how does one figure out uh, what is one passionate about. But I think you do have and afterwards the second part of your presentation talked about the various things that you do which help a child find what is it that he or she likes to spend time with. And so I think I've been a counselor for quite a few years. I think the biggest challenge would be because your program
Sorry, I'm losing your voice after you said your program, and then I lost your.
to be able to convince the parent, that to remove the child from the school. Okay, I'll try once more because
No,
I
no,
think
we
I
got
might.
you. The challenge is to remove the child from the
Yeah,
school.
to convince a parent to, can remove the child for a couple of years so that he or she can explore the passion and then figure out what he or she needs to do and decide whether to get back to the school or not. Because it's not so easy to take a child out at grade 6, have them spend 3 years at Aarohi and then expect the school to take them back at grade 9 without any their own passing through their examination system. So I think that's a challenge. And how does Aarohi help the counselors overcome that challenge?
Okay, so I would, that's very easy to answer because whichever child wanted to go back in whichever level or standard or whatever has gone back without any problem. When I say without any problem, I don't mean to say they've gone back to the same schools. Typically, their needs change in 2-3 years. They also change. They don't want to go back to the same school. They're looking for something else. And they do go back. Yes, they do need to give exam. If that school is asking for an entrance test, then these guys prepare for it. See, the important thing is here the child is saying, yes, I want to go back to school or I want to give 10th. There's so many, I can give you more examples of people wanting to give 10th and they have prepared just for 8 months, 1 year and given 10th while others have been studying for so many years. So convincing parents on this aspect is easier by telling them that here are so many stories. And that's why on our website also you'll find stories of parents saying that. And we can connect them to parents who say, yes, it's not such a big deal. We think it's a very big deal, but it's not. We though even as parents start saying you can't miss a single day of school, you will lag behind kind of thing. Here children 2, 3, 4 years come back and then get back into wherever they wanted. And I can give you many more stories or examples of how children have done it. But important thing which you need to tell the parents is when the child is coming back because a child wants to come back and knows why is he or she coming back. We had, for example, Imad. Imad at 17 decided he wanted to become a pilot. Now, pilot in our country requires you to do 10th and 12th. That's a mandatory to go through the pilot training program, which is a 3-year or 4-year pilot training. So he had to, and then he had no problem. He knew maths was not his strength, but he still worked on it because he was hell-bent on becoming a pilot. So I'm just saying the energy is very different. Now they're self-driven. Now they know what, if they want to do something, they can achieve it by putting in the effort that it requires.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
And the second thing that you can tell the parents that that look at it this way. Yes, you can continue the child for these, let's say 2-3 years, but the child is only going to do more of what the child likes the least. Right? So this is like a gift to the child or an investment. Is your child more important or those classes more important? Finally, that perspective the parents need to get. I'm doing this for the child, not for my own social status or social or whatever I have. All my anxieties I have to keep aside because I need to give the child himself or herself back. I keep telling parents, I'm selling you your own child. Your child is capable, your child is smart, your child has all the strengths. Now let's work on them. Right? So, so that is one thing we need to, tell the parents that hello, this investment is worth it, because otherwise it's only making the child smaller in that sense, or in whichever way the child is troubled. If the child is not at all troubled, the child is saying, so what if I fail? I don't care, then it's okay. But in most cases, that's not true. Even if the child is outside saying that, there is something else which is eating the child inside, because the child is constantly being compared, and child knows that he is not or she is not out there at the top, or won't get the best college and stuff like that. So I think we need to put that huge difference it can make to the child. And plus this, it's not at all difficult to come back to the conventional, though you may not get the same school, but that's okay. Typically they find something which they like. So yeah.
And I think it will also probably work very well with students, let's say, who've already done with their school and still not sure what they want to pursue at college. Maybe take a gap year, spend a year with you, exploring what they're passionate about. Then maybe apply to the right programs after that.
Yeah. Either ways, yeah, it could be after 10th I will take a gap year, or after 12th, or before 10th only I can take a gap year. Today, in today's world, even schools allow, at that age you can give. NIOS allows you to give at any age, 10th, so it doesn't matter. So like I can take gap year whenever I think now is the time I can take the gap year. So yes, absolutely, the gap year concept, if that helps people. Though in India as such, it's not a very popular concept. But yes, if that helps, after 10th, after 11th, after 12th, anytime.
Mamta, I wanted to ask, how are parents perceiving gap year right now? If you have had any conversations?
Most of them are open to the idea of taking a gap year once the child is through with K-12. Like after grade 12, many parents, there could be children who want to take the competitive exam again, or the children who want to work on a particular skill before applying for a university gap year after 12th. Before that, it's a challenge, yes. Before that, they don't want to disrupt the entire 12, program. So yes, that's why I thought that, Aarohi would be a very good idea for somebody who's, done grade 12, still not sure, spend a year with them, explore options, and then figure out what is it that I want to do with my life. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
can I answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
The question wasn't directed towards me, but I'd like to answer. One of our students, we just had our graduation last week, and one of our students went up on stage and he said he's taking a gap year. And it was heartwarming to hear him say that, because he said, I am still not sure what I'd like to pursue. And he said, I'm going to spend this year finding out the different things and then mapping my own strengths to what would be the right thing for me to do. And I thought that was extremely mature. When I went and spoke to the parents and I asked the parents, was this something? They said, we supported him, but we did not put this idea in his head. But when he said he'd like to do this, now that is the thing, right? The game changer is that many children would like to do it. But one thing they did say is that the gap year does not mean that he gets a free pass to do nothing. Now that, so how do you define nothing? Right? It's a very tricky thing, but we love to put children into silos, and we like to put work. We like to label work like this is productive, this is not productive, this is good, this is not good. That kind of conditioning oftentimes deters a child from really saying what they want. I mean, it's very, very unfortunate. But today, I think a lot of students, not in the mainstream schools, but I do see a lot of IGCSE, IB schools, children are very, very open to taking a gap year, and so are parents. They either spend the time, they have agenda for them. They'll intern for 3 months, travel for 3 months, do social work for 3 months. And that is the kind of conversation, if you as a counselor will talk to parents, right? To give them real life experiences, to give them things which they're not going to experience for the next 5 years once they get into a rigorous course.
Also, if you put something like Aarohi in front of them, where automatically they have now so many peers, and they have mentors and they have guides, and they're not like they can, as you say, the parents care that will they just while away their time,
That's the thing.
do nothing. So that's where it comes in that, okay, they
The whole
get
concept
together
of
and
community
they do a lot
service.
of things together. Yes.
Absolutely. They can spearhead projects for your children. They can mentor them, teach them. And I think as an internship, you should actually actively lobby this in schools. Aarohi should, lobby it, because you will get so many interns who'll come and work with you. And that would be enriching for both them as well as for you, as I think here's an opportunity.
How do you see that manifesting, Trupti? Like, if you could just help us visualize it.
So I feel as Mr. Ratnesh and Aditi themselves are a name in the industries. They went or they wrote to school saying that we have this interesting internship program for students who are still not sure or undecided about what they'd like to take. They can come and stay with us and work with us for a year, where we will. I'm talking on his behalf, but I'm sure that's an idea.
Sure.
If I had an open school, I would definitely advocate this. I would say young children, for them to first come and live in a semi-rural setting. It is not a semi-urban, I'd like to say. We're not too far away from Bangalore, and yet again, you do get a taste, because I visited your campus and I spent the day there with you. So I do know. So you can help in the kitchen. You can take any session you want with the children. It's a very open calendar, just for them to visualize and understand that an open setting can lend into education, which is so enriching, because it stems from your desire to want to do it, right? Itself is a game changer. Because they then will come out feeling very confident that no matter what choice they're making, it's something that they're making, and therefore they're going to be true by it. But I think it's a fabulous opportunity.
Yes. So we don't call it as an internship program, but we do talk about in terms of investing that 1 year and what all things you can do in that 1 year.
Life skills.
What all you can, how all you can enrich yourself, and most importantly, I think somewhere discover what is it that is which areas would you like to go more deeper into.
I think
taste it out, try it out. Yeah.
It would make them so much more humbler. It gives them such a realistic picture to what life can be like, And I think also a lot of our undergrad students go away abroad. It breaks my heart. I've lived abroad to know they're too young to live in that kind of isolation, that kind of, it's lonely. When they do something like this, when they move away, and Aarohi is a very warm, a very, what would I say? It's a very compact, very warm kind of community. It's very safe there,
Yeah.
So for parents, it's there's nothing to worry or no fear.
Sure. So yeah, it is. I think Mamta is reminding it is around 3:05. So we had planned it 2 to 3. So if people want to step out, most welcome.
Yes.
Let's stay connected. But if you still want to have a chit chat, I can be around for some time if anybody has something.
I have to run into a meeting. Thank you very much.
Sure, Trupti.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah. So if any one of you, as I said, wants to little more spend some time, I'm there. But if anybody
I
wants
saw
to leave.
Shakuntala unmuting herself while we were all answering to the chat and talking. Shakuntala ji, did you want to speak something or share something? For a moment, I saw you unmuting, so I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She says nothing. Okay.
Hi. So, good afternoon. I'm Pallavi. So,
hi, Pallavi.
I am mom of 2. I'm not a coach. We are in Delhi here. So it's too far. Aarohi is too far. It would be difficult. And my daughter is 7 years, so it's difficult to send her that far.
Yes.
So how can I step in?
Okay. So first of all, you're not too far. You're close by. Just 2 hours, 3 hours flight,
Right.
if I call it flight, okay, whatever, or a day
Definitely.
train journey. So we have had children not just from Delhi, but even Punjab or Uttarakhand or Rajasthan, Ahmedabad. Just tomorrow, Friday, tomorrow one child is coming from Ahmedabad. So people do travel. The reason it is easy to travel or flexible to travel, and even if your child is 7 years, is because we are not a school, right? We don't have to follow any strict schedule. So you can, for example, you can say, okay, I would come with my child or children and stay here for, let's say, a month or 2 months. Yeah. And then I will go back and I will work with my children there and I'll again come back. So you can, I'm literally saying you can literally create your own schedule.
Okay.
Where initially, when the children are younger, you are coming with them. Oh, obviously, all of that if it's practical. I'm not trying to, I'm just giving you possibilities of how different people do that. And then look at it this way: when your child is here, obviously you are also getting exposed. Plus, you are helping us to work with the child. And when the child is at your home, we will support you from here to work with your child there. So it works. It works like this. Again, I'm not trying to say this is what you are looking for. I'm just giving you the idea of if what you really want is
Yes, sir.
is clear, then distances I think is not really
Okay. Okay. I mean, I
a
like
big
the
issue.
idea that we can stay there for a month or
2 months,
maybe
3
we
months.
can visit during summer vacation because we were also looking for alternate education. She's going to a Montessori school here.
Yeah.
But now we are looking for some other options. So
Sure,
then
sure,
we were exploring homeschooling. So I was then when I get connected with you over LinkedIn, so it was definitely it was like a blessing for me that I don't know from where I got this profile and then we got connected.
Sure. Yes, definitely. So depending on, as I said, whether you're really doing homeschooling, unschooling kind of thing, or whether any which way we are there to support. So we also have an ongoing program to support parents and the children through the parents. So if you don't want to come here, which is absolutely fine and makes sense because your child is younger and you may, that for you, the distance may be whatever the distance is. So you may say, okay, but I want to work with my child, but I need support of working with my child. So that's where we come in. So we don't work with parents online, children online, we work with parents online.
Agree. So how can I get help on that? Where can I connect with you?
Yeah, I think I put down my number. Are you already part of the group?
Yes, right. I'm part
Yeah,
of that.
so just ping me from there and
Sure.
yeah, and we can take it from there. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you,
just
sir.
put the number again. You can just ping there and we can take
Yeah,
it.
I will just put it.
Right.
I thought I'll just
Yeah,
put it in chat. I've spoken a lot.
Madhuri,
So.
I thought we can just spend maybe at least 5 minutes just discussing this. Absolutely. So, me, I think in my mind I've been trying to reach out to a lot of counselors, and because I think they are the ones who can invariably parents will land up with them either if they have a school counselor or an independent freelancing counselor or a group of counselors. But for counselors to even try and suggest something, or for any educator, special educator to even suggest something like this, first they need to
Experience.
Most haven't experienced it with their children, right? So for them, at least they should believe in it, even if they haven't first-hand experience. Even if they come here 1 or 2 days or a week, that's great. Meaning we would love to host people, but finally, that is not very, very practical for people to suddenly come and stay here for, let's say, a few days or a week. So at least there's somewhere they will need to start believing that, okay, we can look beyond the conventional. Otherwise, it's taken up the whole canvas. Right now, people don't even think there is any other option. People think this is it. You have to go to the education thing. So yeah, I think that's the.
I'm thinking one of the modalities is Jagriti program is really great, Ratnesh. I've had some when I was with Bimi, there was a lot of this. I mean, Bimi's what Aarohi has passed on as knowledge. So I've heard a lot from them about Aarohi. I've myself heard. Read through on the website or would have listened to parents speak about it. One of the modalities is to have a short exposure to the counselors to get them on board first of all.
Yes.
Some either I'm thinking Jagriti is, as you write it there, that it is not just for educators or parents, it's also for anyone else who's trying to open their mind about education system in general and thinking what are the possibilities that I can try. So I'm thinking, instead of creating a new program, is it through Jagriti, or should we just sort of maybe reword certain modules and then just position it to counselors and then invite them for a special edition?
That's a good idea, actually, to bring in a kind of a specific edition. I'm calling
edition of
for especially the aspects that they would see. Some aspect they would already be in sync with, and maybe some of the aspects, especially the learning side, because the counselors per se have more, I would say, more exposure with the emotional side, the empathy side, the even the self side, the self-esteem, and a whole lot of those kind of things. They're already, even the life skills side, but I'm not too sure if the learning, because per se they're not in the learning space.
No,
they're more
they're
in
not.
in the guiding, the counseling space. So maybe those are the kind of things, because at the end of the day, if we don't doubt the child in terms of will the child be able to learn, then we have done the job, right? So yes, I think it makes sense. It makes sense to look
because,
at
the way Mamata shared right now, this is the challenge that she is encountering with. These are kind of conversations that the parents are having. So in Jagriti, when the discussion is largely from parent side, then it's about some of the things that you discussed as beliefs, right? Parents talk about disciplining the children or acceptance or all of that. Those kinds of discussions sort of dominate the journey. I'm thinking if counselors editions happen, then maybe they will bring their challenges from the role that they are playing, and maybe we could something could emerge out of it, out of that churning. Is what I'm just thinking. Instead of creating a new program, I think you have important elements already in Jagriti. So
right.
No redundancy again. Yeah.
I think that's a terrific idea. I think I should just get into implementing it. As you said, just recraft it in terms of repackage it, take it, make it slightly smaller, more specific sessions.
Maybe I think in the counselor group itself we have about 200 people already, 220 people. So I was this morning I was wondering, okay, 200 is a really good number, because each have their own circle of influence. The way I'm thinking is, when you said, okay, is there a way? I was a child, Ratnesh, that I couldn't fit into the system. That's my personal drive,
Me too.
So I would, a part of me heals whenever, there's an opportunity to provide at least one more child experience something different. I was thinking, okay, each counselor will have at least 5 children, say, in the 5 families. Then that itself is a good place to start, is what I was thinking this morning. Maybe we would just try that and see what how they respond. Maybe a thumbs up or something like that.
Absolutely.
You will see.
Just think, ho gaya. I'm already now thinking dates and all that.
Great.
Super idea. Let's roll this. Absolutely.
Great. I'm excited.
Anything which is doable, I'm very excited, because now I know what to do. Otherwise, it's all like going ideas is not going to help. But this is really good. Okay, so we'll do that.
Sure.
We'll announce a Jagriti program for counselors, especially. Yes.
Yeah. It would eventually lead to, I'm just assuming that it will eventually lead to same pure anxiety questions that parents generally ask in parent community groups that we are part of now, that you're anchoring now. About, for example, when Mamta said parents are okay after 12th. So which means the path that, okay, मतलब job तो मिल जाएगा, कुछ तो हो गया, एक step तो हो गया. those patterns will emerge. Indirectly, it will emerge again. So
Right.
I'm thinking, invariably there is this bunch of fears and anxieties that we will anyways retouch upon. However, we have extra set of influences who are themselves believing that no, there are possibilities, there are case studies and stories. So
Right.
maybe we can give a try. So that will probably sort of open. Is what I'm thinking.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's try that out.
Yeah.
I'm excited, Ratnesh. Let's see. I'm going to stay there.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you then. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, yeah, bye-bye. Thank you. Super
Shakuntala ji,
energetic.
bye.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, bye-bye, Shakuntala. Yeah, bye-bye. Bye-bye.